Hello, 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 my beautiful vocalists. I'm so excited to be back on another Daily Nugget with you guys, and I'm excited that you guys joining me. If you are not already subscribed to this channel, make sure you go ahead and just hit that subscribe button, get that out the way right now, and hit the bell so that you can stay up on all things Daily Nugget and all content Tory Live. So let's dig right into the meat and potatoes of what we are here to talk about. All right. So if you are a chronic arguer, or if you are a person who loves to get your point across, or if you are a person who feels a little misunderstood or unheard, or like everybody else around you is tripping, this may be for you. I hope this is for you because this is for me. So, sometimes we get into these disputes and stuff with people. We get into these heated discussions, or, I hate to use the term arguments, but we get into these very, very hot topics, with our spouses, with our friends, with our family members. And a lot of times we end up saying things that we wouldn't normally say because like it gets the heated fellowship gets so hot that you just start kind of like talking, and in the midst of this speaking you're getting overwhelmed because you are trying to get your point across, right? But see, and even beyond that, right? Even beyond saying what you don't want to say, just the amount of energy that goes into arguing and disputing and trying to prove your point to somebody. Sometimes one thing that I've realized throughout this little journey through life is that there are some cases where certain things are not even worth your time. It's just not even worth your time to even go through like this argument with these people. Now, some people are never going to get it. Whatever it is that you're trying to give them, whatever it is that you're trying to say, some people are just like never going to get it. And you have to become okay with that and understand that you are an acquired taste. And everybody doesn't have taste, for you, right? Like, this is something that I love. Pesto. I am in love with pesto. I could put it on everything. I could eat it on chicken. I could eat it in pasta. I am in love with pesto, especially this brand. This is my favorite brand. I love to cook with it. But there are people out there who don't like pesto. They hate it. They wonder why someone would even come up with that. But I'm not going to beat myself up and use all of my energy to try to convince you that it's good. I can make it in something and let you try it. I can suggest it. I can suggest other ways of eating it if you've had it a certain way and didn't like it. Oh, well, maybe you could try it on such and such. But I'm not going to keep pressing you. At the end of the day, I'm not going to keep pressing anybody about anything, because ultimately the energy that you put into pushing your ideas or your thought pattern on this person, you could be taking that energy and putting it into something else. You could be taking that energy and putting it into yourself. you know uh when you look back at some of the arguments that you've had, now you may have been right, you may have been completely justified in everything that you said, in your points. Like, you had everything. You had the bullet points, you had the diagram, you had everything, and you were absolutely right. Your execution was right. You were not wrong at all. But was it worth your time? I'm talking about you had everything laid out, the whole outline of the argument, the top, the bottom, the body, all of that. Like, you was coming with straight facts, but was it worth the time and effort? I'm talking about you had like pictures, you had receipts, you had everything to prove your point. Because after all, you're right. So it's no reason why you should even have to do all this, because they're wrong, you're right. Why can't they see it? But is it worth your time? That's all I'm saying. let me give you guys a real life connection to this right here. My grandfather, God rest his soul, he meant well. And I believe he truly and honestly meant well for all people, like everybody that he knew. My grandfather was a deacon. He was the head deacon at the church that I grew up in. And he, I grew up, yeah, I grew up right there at the altar in the church. And my grandparents, they like everything was about church. Everything was about Jesus. And like, we gonna get you saved, basically. So like, if there was anybody who he felt as though they were like stepping out of the will of God, they were like living in any kind of like sinfulness, whatever it was, everything down to this lipstick right here will be a problem for him. Your skirt will be a problem for him. Everything was a problem because everything had to be tip top, because he felt like God was going to come back and he was going to judge you by everything. And I feel like he wasn't so much judgmental as much as he was worried about the people's soul. Like, he wanted them to be right because he didn't want any of his um, church members or family members to end up going to hell because of anything sinful. Understandable, right? But one thing I told my grandfather, and I was young at the time telling my grandfather this, but I mean, I just got tired because like he was running after these people in the church and, oh, you're not supposed to do this, and God says you're not supposed to do that, and da 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 da. And I'm like, okay, listen, you can say what you want to say to people, but if they don't listen to you, you have to let that go, leave that alone, let them figure it out on their own. We as people, and this is real talk coming from me, who is a Christian, to the rest of the world, everybody else who will view this, we cannot take it upon ourselves to judge anybody and to try to be God. You know what I'm saying? And I don't really think that's what he was trying to do. I really do believe, I really want to believe that my grandfather, he just had the best intentions and wanted everybody to be good and to be straight on, that day of judgment. He didn't want nobody to catch repercussions from God, which is beautiful that he wants to save everybody. But you know what? One thing in life, we can't save everybody from anything. You can't save everybody from losing money. You can't save everybody from getting their heart broken. You can't save everybody from getting involved with the wrong people. You can't save everybody from whatever their ultimate choice is. Now, nobody walks down the road, I don't think, nobody walks down the road and intentionally says, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to get hit by a car today. Like, nobody walks out and says, I'm going to purpose to do the wrong thing and get into bad situations. But sometimes things happen. And, sometimes bad things happen as a way of showing us and teaching us certain things. So sometimes by us getting in the way of that, trying to stop that, I definitely encourage you to try to, if you see someone going down the wrong path, encourage them, try to curve them the right way. But if they're doing them, you're going to kill yourself trying to fight them on a decision that they've already made. Maybe they got to go down that road. Maybe they got to learn whatever lesson is down there. Maybe this is the way that their life is. Maybe this is the path that they are choosing. And it doesn't always have to be a wrong path. Just because the path is not your path doesn't mean it's a wrong path, because everybody is living an individual life. So what's good for, wow, this is a really old saying, what's good for the gander isn't good for the goose. Something like that. Anyway, that's a really like old saying, and I remember, people saying it, but I don't know if I said it verbatim. However, what I eat doesn't make you poop, basically. Like, what's good for me may be good for me. It may not be good for you, or it may be good for you, but either way, you gotta let people live their own life and make their own choices. And the energy that you're gonna exude from your own body and from your own efforts with yourself, that energy that you could put on your life, your own life, like, you're kind of wasting it in a way. Like, I mean, helping people is not a waste of time. We should help people, we should encourage people, we should love on people. But if you see that it's just like they're not trying to hear that, you are going to drive yourself insane, because now you're pushing your own narrative on another person, and that's not fair. Let people live their life. Sometimes, like, we get into these great big arguments with people about choices that are their own. Let them live their life and you live your life. I love him. God rest his soul. You did good. You did good. But we have to let people live their own truth, go through their own thing, good or bad, whatever that may look like for them. But when we get into heated discussions and arguments with people about things, and we're just putting out so much energy onto other people's stuff, just like the gossip and the gossip vlogs or blogs or whatever, and it's just like so much negativity. It's so much energy, like the energy that we put on things that have no, it just has nothing positive, nothing constructive for us. That energy that we are putting into the world to watch some of these things, to comment on some of these things, to share some of this stupid stuff. Like, I see people that I follow on Facebook all the time just posting pointless stuff, and it really aggravates me. It makes me like hit unfollow. But I digress. We do so much putting that energy out there, and that same energy could be used to better our community, to better our household, to better our own personal life, to better our relationship, with our family, our friends, our spouses, our relationship with money, right? It could be helping, we could be taking that time to learn a new skill. Like, I mean, I'm just saying, these are just things that are just popping through my head. I could be wrong, but I'm just saying, like, we are stressing situations that most times have nothing to do with us, can't better us, can't do anything for us. Like, once we're done with that argument, once we're done with that gossip, once we're done trying to reconstruct this whole person's life, hmm, hmm, hmm. Was it worth our time though? Time is a rare commodity. Time, it really is, because we don't know how much time we have. Time is precious. Time is worth more than money. You can die with millions in the bank, like hella stocks, a lot of goods. But, this is why most times when people pass away, the people who are left behind them, if they didn't have a will or whatever, those family members and friends are left to like fight over all the stuff that they had. And sometimes, even if they do have a will, there's people trying to manipulate the will and trying to forge new versions of such said will. It's just really messy. So I digress again. You can die with millions in the bank, but all those millions, you will never see a person on their deathbed that says, "Man, I just wish." Before I take this last breath, I just wish that I could just touch another $100 bill. No, they won't say that, but they will say, before I take this last breath, I just wish I could get another day with my best friend. I wish I could get another moment with my mom. I wish I could hold my children and have another summer with them, just one last time. Like that you will hear, because time, something that you can't get back. You can lose money, you can run through money, you can spend that, and it, and make it right back. Make it right back. There's been people who have had everything and then went to having nothing and built themselves back up again. And there are people who have had had nothing and built themselves up. There have been people who have had nothing and just never got nothing, or people who have had and never lost, whatever, whichever variable you want to live with, whatever. These people, you know, no matter how much or how little they have, time is still the common denominator. We all have the same 24 hours in one day. And some people say it's not enough time. Maybe not, but it depends on how you're using it. If you are using it purposely, if you're using it with intention, if you're using it um, successfully, right? Then you maximize it. But if you're not, then you will forever wonder, where'd the time go? There's not enough time. Why isn't there any time? Because we are wasting time on the things that do not profit us anything. So, with this being said, y'all, I'm gonna get up out of here. I just hope that you guys got something from this. I hope that you take things into consideration when it comes to the things that we argue about or the things that we focus our minds on. Mindset is everything. Time and how we use it is everything. So please keep those things in mind. Um, Again, one more time, if you have not subscribed, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to hit that bell also so that you can keep up with like all post notifications for when I am posting new content. Yeah. I'm really excited, and this channel is just ever growing. It's taken its time to get there, but I believe if I'm consistent and I keep pushing, then it will get to the numbers that I want to see. It will continue building, and I need your help. So please hit that subscribe, hit that bell, and let's go. And beyond me, like honestly, beyond my numbers, even if they stay stagnant, but we're not going to put the energy there. Mm-mm. But even if they don't go astronomical, uh, I just want people to be encouraged and affected by the messages that I put out every day. I want people to feel empowered by the things that I say. I hope that it definitely is resonating with at least one of you out there, because if it is, I'm doing what God told me to do by doing these videos. I really hope it inspires and motivates you to be your best self and be a better self for yourself and for all those around you. Y'all, stay encouraged, stay up, stay blessed, and above all else, you guys, be your own light, baby. Bye.